Hey, Colleen.
Hey,
Okay, so let's start with let folks know who you are, and then I have some questions I really want you to help me answer.
okay. I'm Kellene Vaile. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I am a fractional CMO and CRO with Invictus CMO.
So, what is a fractional CMO then, Colleen?
So, a fractional CMO is a chief marketing officer that comes in to be part of your C suite, but they do so on a fractional basis as opposed to a full time, better by the engagement ring, full time commitment kind of basis.
Uh, so, okay, then this is where I want to go next. Let's imagine that there's a hypothetical new engagement. Okay, you got a new client. It's going to last for a year, fractional, right? So part time. And today is day one. What do you like to try to do, or what do you like to accomplish in the first 90 days?
Well, first 90 days, the first 2 weeks are going to be the most important. I'm going to be interviewing every C suite member, every hierarchy member, as well as key sales personnel and marketing personnel. And I'm going to be looking for all the gaps that I can possibly find. And along with that, I will have initiated a lead generation tactic that I'm known for because that takes a little bit of time to get going. It involves SEO.
Hmm.
And I'm also going to evaluate every picture, every syllable of any content that's out to make sure that it communicates the message that I'm hearing back from the C-suite members that they want to convey to their audience. So
All
it's
right.
a pretty intense 90 days.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, so then let's pretend that I'm the CEO of that client company and we brought you on. Okay. I probably had to convince somebody to allocate that spend, like, investors or a leadership team or a board, or maybe even like my split personality, right? Like, how am I going to get maximum? What have I told myself? Like, how am I going to get maximum value out of the 1 year spend on a fractional CMO that I committed to?
Well, as a matter of fact, 92% of all businesses who bring on a fractional CMO, 92% of them actually wish that they'd done it sooner.
Hmm.
And the reason for that is there's about a 32% revenue increase on average. And at Invictus CMO, we don't consider ourselves average, but on average, that's 32%.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you take the spend on me, you still are printing money. So that's the pitch there is
Right.
how much money can we print? How much more can we get out of her?
Yeah, that would work. Okay, so let's imagine I'm still the CEO, okay? And I've got one or more staffers who work in marketing. Maybe I have a big marketing team, maybe I have a very small marketing team, but I have like somebody there, right? I'm looking at them and I'm looking at you because it's day one of this 1 year we're going to have of your time. How is that marketing team going to be different or ideally better at the end of 12 months than they are right now on your first day?
Well, ideally, they're going to benefit from my vast experience. I mean, I
Hmm.
have well over 15 years. So there's going to be some mentorship that's going to be happening. They're going to benefit from the various techniques and tactics that I have utilized in my time. And some of them are just based on principles, they'll never grow old. So they're definitely going to expand their horizons and become much more valuable employees to the company.
Then, well, let's talk about the most junior person on that team then,
Mhm.
right? This person, they only started 3 months ago. It's their first ever full time job in marketing. They're at the beginning of their marketing career. It's relatively rare right now in 2024. It's relatively rare to have a fractional CMO at the top of a marketing organization. If you're the most junior person, what should you be like thinking about or asking or doing to sort of get and not in like a mercenary way, but take advantage of the opportunity and exposure that you have of a fractional CMO at the top of the organization?
Well, you said it. You hit the nail on the head. If I was coming on board and I was a junior marketing person and I had the luxury of a fractional CMO, I would take advantage of everything I could. I would soak up everything that I could possibly learn from that fractional CMO because it is vast. Fractional CMOs on average have 15 years of experience. That's
Mm-hmm.
average. 72% of the market has over 15 years of experience. So I would definitely soak up everything I could possibly learn and look at them as a mentor and not be afraid to ask questions.
All right. Um, so we're moving through the questions very quickly. I love that. I gotta ask, okay, and I'm just gonna be blunt. Um, like, there are easier ways to make a living. Why this job?
Oh my gosh. I don't think that there are easier ways to make a living because I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I'm kind of a David versus Goliath kind of gal, and I love working with those small to medium sized businesses. And I love it when I can show them that you can outrank your big boy competitors with some tactics
Mm-hmm.
and deploy them. And with my lead generation skills that I put into play, I can outrank them on Google. It doesn't without having to spend a dime of my
Right.
advertising budget. I can do that, and it just feels great. David kicking Goliath's butt all day long. I'm in love with the small business owner. I love what they do to this country, what they can do for the economy, and to me, it's just very very gratifying. And I'm a marketing geek. All these books behind me, they're all sales and marketing books.
Mm-hmm.
That's my love language.
All right. I'm gonna ask you a question that I haven't asked anyone since season 1, and this is season 4. All right. So imagine that, and we'll wrap up with this because I've gone a bit long, I think. But the CEO comes to you and says, "Hey, Kellene, so you've been here for a few months, and that we've been looking for a new head of sales. Right, that position's empty. I want you to help me vet the last 5 candidates for head of sales. Right, what are you looking for in a head of sales as the head of marketing?"
I'm looking with someone who can align with the marketing department because unless those two departments can align, it's a very dysfunctional and you're basically paralyzing both departments. But you bring them in alignment. There was a study I was reading just the other day that talked about that alignment can result in 28% revenue increase.
Mm.
28%. That tells you just what a big problem it is with sales and marketing not being on the same page.
No, that makes a lot of sense. What would you ask them?
Oh, certainly I would ask them what their understanding is of marketing because
Mhm.
there's always a different understanding. So I would definitely ask them what their understanding is of marketing. I would ask them what they feel like has been lacking in marketing in the past. And I would ask them what they feel like the marketing message is of the product and service that we're asking them to sell.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so who should be reaching out to you or Invictus these days? Like, who's sort of the ideal client, or who gets the biggest bang for the buck?
Basically, anyone that is spending between 12,000 on up in digital marketing, because I can save them all of
Is
that
that like
money
monthly or annually or?
monthly. Yes,
Okay.
monthly. When they're spending that kind of money, I can save them all of that. Anyone who needs lead generation, they really need it to start happening right away. I can help
Mhm.
with that. I mean, that you could say that's just about anybody, but some people are strategically ready to turn on the faucet. Not everybody
Right.
is. So that would be my two criteria.
All right. And how should they get in touch with you specifically?
Come to invictuscmo.com.
Yeah.
You can find me on LinkedIn, though. That's probably the easiest way. Kellene
Yeah.
Vaile on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever met another Colleen. So,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty
I've
easy.
met Colleens and
Yeah.
other Irish variations of it, but I've never met it in your spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
the
I'm easy to
first in the
find.
gallery.
I'm first in the gallery. Well, good. I'm honored.
All right. Well, that's it for me. Thank you so much, Colleen. It's been great. We only met each other yesterday. It's very rare to have such a quick turnaround. It's usually like a 4 to 5 month process from the time I meet someone to the time they get on the podcast. But I was very happy to see that you managed to grab such an early slot. It's I thought when we talked yesterday, it's like she's going to be fun on that podcast, and turns out you are. So thank you very
Woo!
much. Okay, so that's it for me. You're probably watching this on a clip. but there are tons and tons of clips, and coming up on 100 episodes of this podcast on YouTube. So take a look. There's a lot of great fractional CMOs to get to know. Until then, thanks, Kellene, very much.